Hey, we got a special guest today. He wants to get something off his chest. There's nothing better than a group of guys, sitting around having some conversations and drinking and hearing, our friends, our buds. We got Costas from Heavy on the Heart.
What up, Costas?
How's it going, man?
What's up, man? How you doing?
We're doing great. Even better now that you're surprising us on the show.
Wow, a long time no hear.
I mean, I just got bulletin after bulletin. It's like, I need to get on the show. I'm like, okay, all right, let's get him on right now. Let's get him on. And so here you are, man. Here's your platform. We love you. We miss you. What's going on, man? What's going on?
Well, first I want to say what gave me the idea was I've been very active on social media, and a couple of podcasts that we've been on, Heavy on the Heart has been on, or that wanted us on, have reached out about telling my story, not my truth, my story and the truth. There's only so much I can really give right now. But it only felt right to do it with you guys. You guys are the best. You guys are home. I love coming on your show. I love interacting with you guys. And it just felt right to do it here. So that's why I'm doing this. I had 3 podcasts slide into my DMs within the last 10 days regarding what I want to talk about.
It's too late. Other podcasts, we've already made a house in his DMs.
He's our friend.
That's our boy.
Yeah. So the last one was kind of pushy with me. I didn't really like it. And that's when I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm reaching out to Drunk with Buds. And if they want to do it, we're doing it. So yeah, I want to talk about the state of Heavy on the Heart. And the future and the record. First, I want to start by saying me and the singer, I fell in love with the singer. I knew her for really close-wise for a couple of years. I've always known of her. Truthfully, I never got a good vibe from her, just from things I've heard from people. And so I just kind of, part of it was I'm not getting involved in this. And then the other part of it was just we never really were in the same space for too long. And then we started doing some music stuff, and we got close, trauma bonded, so to speak. But I fell in love, and I didn't think it would ever happen because, I was dating her best friend for, at that point, it was like 6 years. Not only her best friend, her business partner. And then, she was dating somebody. And then she got pregnant. And then that pregnancy, fruition to wedding. And that was all in 2022. And then during this time, I was writing the first EP for Heavy on the Heart. We hit the studio in September of 2021 to record that. And around this time, I told her, I basically told her that, listen, I'm in love with you. Whatever role you need me to play in your life is what I will play. I never thought anything would come of it. I never thought anything would happen. And then in February of 2023, I think it was February 7th, it was the night we shot the band shots for the Mr. Know-It-All music video. Had a little issue. And I just ended up spending that whole night driving around, and she was texting me, but I noticed that texting was getting a little, I don't want to say intimate, but friendlier. And, I started entertaining it, and then things got physical in March of 2023. And when feelings came out on both sides, I wanted to do the right thing. I knew I wanted to create a life with this person. I knew that I wanted the world with this person. I knew I wanted to give her the world. And I knew people were going to get hurt. And I didn't want to prolong it. But she convinced me that for the sake of her child, for the sake of her life, for the sake of her business, we need to keep it hush until all these things work out. But during this time, she was very adamant on you and my girlfriend at the time, Cassandra, need to break up first. And I never understood that, but I at the end of the day, it didn't matter to me. My end goal was to create a life with this person. And Cassandra and I broke up in June of 2024. We went on the summer tour where we saw you guys when we were in Indiana. And then when we got home from that tour, things really, really took a turn. I want to say I'm in no way, shape, or form a perfect person. I am in no way, shape, or form God's gift to the world. But one thing about me is I hold myself accountable. I hold myself to a high standard. And if I do something wrong, or if I make you feel some type of way, or if there's a behavior of mine that needs to be corrected, I will be corrected. I will correct it. I'm a very honest person. I'm a very transparent person. I know what it's like to have your feelings played with. And the last thing I want to do to anybody is play with their feelings. I was very stress induced these last 2 years. Before all this happened, I floated around 160, 165 pounds. And at my heaviest, I was 264. And what I thought was, oh, I'm just getting old and fat. My doctors told me it was the cortisol levels in my body from being stress induced. And I'll get to that where this part comes in a little, but basically October of last year, we went to Vegas and for my friend's wedding, and we started telling, she told him, hey, you know, we're a thing. And when we got home, things took a turn for the worst. I'm a pretty strong person. I've been through a lot, and I don't really try to victimize myself. I don't want to victimize myself. And I don't say this lightly, but I have been mentally and emotionally abused by this person for 2 years. But this last year, it was really, really bad. I'm talking fights every 2 or 3 days. I'm talking gaslighting. I'm talking lying. I'm talking cheating. I'm talking location off. I'm talking anything. It got to the point where she even said it to me. It seems like I start these fights every weekend. And it got to that point. But it was, for a while, it was every 2 or 3 days. And then, you know, I need space. I need this. I don't need space. You're not giving me enough. All you care about is work. And then in regards to the band, I'm not going to sit here and say that, no, everybody played a part, but what it comes down to is I kept that locomotive moving. And I'm not trying to praise myself. I'm not trying to anything. I'm trying to just tell the truth. I booked that tour. Andrew, the bass player, helped with some dates.
Mm-hmm.
The $23,000 that went into creating this record was all out of my pocket. The social media marketing was all out of my pocket. And in February, when we did that small little run. On the way home, we all spoke, hey, listen, like, let's hunker down. Let's take a little bit of time. She wanted to go through her divorce. I started getting into real estate and this new venture, and I wanted to pursue that. And, Andrew started a job, Nick started a job. So we're all saying, all right, we're going to use this, next 6 to 8 months to take care of stuff in our personal life. And then we're going to also, during this time, we'll do a lot of media stuff, roll out the record, start getting ready to roll out the record. I started asking her to, film TikToks, and let's film TikToks. And, when I realized, she's coming around less and less, I asked her to do it on her own. Hey, go in your car and sing along to the song, or do an acapella. And okay, I'll do it in a little bit. And it never came. And, I started shutting down. I became really depressed. I became really insecure. I became really just angry. And I just confused, didn't understand what was going on. And the mental abuse just went up a notch. And I begged and I pleaded, hey, listen, like, I can't live like this. My home can't be a war zone. My home can't be chaos. And it got really, really bad. And then in June, there was 3 weeks, the first 3 weeks of June, there was 3 fights. I don't remember what the first fight was. The second fight, though, was you could text me a little more in depth. And I was like, you know what, this is a pretty valid point. So I said, okay, I will. And I spent that next week doing that more, texting about my day more, asking about her day more, trying to appease her and make her happy. Because, hey, if somebody told me, I feel like you're we're not talking in the depth that we did, I would want that behavior corrected, and I needed to correct that behavior. So I did. But after that fight, I wrote out a long text on my notepad, and I said, if we have another ridiculous fight, I'm sending this, and that's it. The week after, it was my birthday weekend. It was Saturday night, and I was laying at home, and I was watching something on YouTube. It might have been the 21 Pilots documentary. I was like 4 or 5 minutes into it. Ooh. And she texted me, and I didn't respond right away. But about with 3 to 7 minutes later, she started a fight that I'm not texting fast enough, and I sent that thing. So the relationship aspect of it broke off in June. And then I said, we can continue to do the band. I love the band. I want to continue to do the band. And then somewhere probably like the first or second week of July, it got intimate again. And so from July until everything came to blows in October, the only things that we were doing was having sex and the band. And then we got into a mini little argument late July, early August. I don't remember what it was about, but I told her that you're a destructive person. You will destroy every beautiful thing in your life, and the band is coming soon. I know that. And she said, I will never destroy the band. I love the band too much. And I said, okay, I am riding this ship until the wheels fall off. I love this band.
We love it too.
Good band.
I went through hell. I can't speak for her, and I won't speak for her. I can only speak for me and my emotions. I went through hell trying to get this band off the ground, and I'm not going to discredit myself, before Nick joined, it was me, and she played a role. I'm not going to discredit her. She played a role in keeping. I was ready to throw it all away. I was like, do I even want to play music anymore? Like, do I want to do this? And, I'll give her credit. She kept that fire lit in me. And, but, at the same time, while doing that, everything she was doing was counterproductive to getting music out there and whatnot. So I went, we had these songs, the EP and Smoking All the Weed. So we had 6 songs, and she started going through her pregnancy and all that. And I was like, I don't think this is going to work with her. So I started looking for alternate options. And then I spoke to AJ from The Dangerous Summer, and I asked him if he would, I wanted, do a little studio project with me and, put out this EP, and he agreed. And then I did the songs with him. There's a version of that EP with him on the main vocals, and that might be released one day. I think it's really cool to hear a male singing it. Especially, I love AJ's voice. I think he's got such a fucking great voice.
Oh, absolutely.
And the way I wrote for Heavy on the Heart was different. It was challenging for myself because I've always written from a guy's perspective. He, she. And when I came into writing Heavy, I didn't want to write it from a girl's perspective. I didn't want to write it from a guy's perspective. I wanted it to be gender neutral, so I could listen to it and find relation to it, and a girl can listen to it and find relation to it, and there is no he, she tag on it. At the end of the day, Celine Dion sings songs that I relate to, and I don't got a uterus, but music is universal.
Absolutely.
So I ended up going out on the road with The Dangerous Summer in March for 5 weeks. And she gave birth during this time. And when I got home from that tour, I just felt used by her. I felt triangulated. I felt, she used me to make her husband feel some type of way. The way all the events played out, I just felt this type of way. So I distanced myself. I didn't talk to her. I didn't do anything. And that was in April. She'd send texts to me. I didn't respond. She would send texts to the group chat, me, my girlfriend, my buddy who lived in my house at the time. I just didn't respond. One day, I was in line for Starbucks, and she was the car in front of me, and she poked her head out the window and said, "I recognize you." She texted me, and I didn't respond back, or I responded back with like a 1-word, cool, and then in late July, she texted me saying, "Hey, we used to be so close. What happened?" And I basically said, I feel used. I feel this. I feel that. You didn't do anything you said you were going to do. You pushed releases. You made my life harder than it was. And I left it at that. And then some point in August, she reached back out, or maybe I reached out. To be honest, I don't remember. But we spoke, and we started doing solo stuff. We started releasing solo stuff. And she played her role. She did her job. That's all I ever asked from her. Do your job. If you want to do stuff with music, the world's already against you. You got to do your job. If you're not doing your job, your music's not going to get heard. So she was doing her job, and I was proud of her. I was proud of what we were doing. And then she brought up the band again. And at this point, I've been jamming with Nick, the drummer, for over a year. And Andrew joined this year, probably that around this time. He's probably been in it for like a few weeks at this point. But we were gelling, and it was going well. And so I let it fly, and then we started doing the music stuff, and then things got intimate, and then in August, my business partner and my friend from high school, his sister was in critical condition in the hospital, and I told her. And remember, at this point, we were broken up. We were broken up for 2 months at this point. No
drunken
intimacy
texts.
outside of sex.
Yeah.
But when this all happened in August, I was there for her. I would text her. She was at the hospital a lot. She was, and I was there for her. You're doing a great thing for this family. I know this is hard. I just want to let you know, no matter what's going on between us, I love you. And, I just want you to know, be proud of yourself, because this is hard. The night of this girl's wake, we're at the wake, and one of my friends from back in the day, this girl Christina, somebody who I've never been intimate with, I've never planned on being intimate with, I never plan on being intimate with. She lives in California. She was there for the wake, and we were speaking. We were probably like a minute into the discussion. She came over, and she's very abruptly and aggressive and said, "I need to talk to you outside." I said, "All right." So she broke up that conversation, and we went outside, and then she walked away. Like, she just wanted to get me away from Christina. And I didn't say anything about it. I was like, you know what, whatever. Like, I like, it's all good. And then we go to the bar after the wake, and I'm with one of my best friends from childhood, and somebody I haven't seen in 6 years, because life is life. And but somebody I talk to every day. We literally talk every day. And I'm at the bar. I'm having a good conversation with him and this girl who I had a falling out with, but we recently started talking again out of like mutual respect. So we're having a fun, laughy conversation. Ha ha, hee hee, ho ho. And she walks into the conversation, looks me dead in my face, and says, "Don't ever say that again, or I'll punch you in the face." And I was taken. I was like, "What?" I was like, and I try to laugh it off. She's like, "No, I'm serious. I'll punch you in the face." And then the girl who I had the falling out with quickly changed the subject, because it got really awkward really quick. And then a few minutes later, she looked at me with a smirk, and she's like, "You didn't like that, did you?" And then I didn't say anything. And at this point, my mental health was really, really, really low. Everything that's been going on, I was isolated. For this last year, if I spoke to managers, if I spoke to my friends, if I did this, if I did that, it would be, "Well, why didn't you tell me? Why are you allowed to talk? Why'd you talk to these people without telling me?" I was like, and I'm like, "But I can have conversations with people." It got to the point where, like, I stopped going out because I just didn't want to fight. I just didn't want to get yelled at. I just isolated. I spent the last year in my house. My social life was her and the band, and that was it. And that was crippling for me too. She stopped coming around as much. We'd see each other 3-4 days a week. She'd sleep over 2 nights a week, and then that started dimming. And then I can't talk about what happened in October just yet. This isn't in regards to her, but it was irrational behavior on my end. And while I might have been justified, I will not excuse myself. I will not sit here and make excuses for myself. But she's supposed to be, or was supposed to be, my comfort and the person I come to when I'm feeling vulnerable and emotional and sad and just need some comforting. And she's just very cold and very dismissive, and don't be a bitch, like. And so she this happened, and then the night we filmed the music video for Wishful Thinking, I think it was October 8th. After the shoot, I asked if, once again, hey, listen, I'm feeling very vulnerable. I just want somebody to talk to. And she was very dismissive again. And then I started, she's like, all right, well, fine. Like, so I started going to say what I had to say. And I was stuttering, or I was like kind of thinking how I want to say it. And, well, spit it out, like, and I was like, what the fuck, man? Like, why? I don't treat you like this. Why are you treating me like this? And, then we started talking or whatever. And then I said something about the band, and she said, well, the band's fucking dead to me anyways. So, at that point, it's like, okay, like, I'm not gonna, you've been holding this band, you've been holding sex, and you've been holding time we're supposed to be spending together against me. And like, it's either a gift or a punishment. And, for October, September, and August, she started telling, well, if I leave the band, or if this, like, if I leave, or if you kick me out, Andrew's going to go too. And I was very well aware of that. I've always known that, and I didn't want to lose him. But I was very well aware of what was coming down. And I think I made my peace with all of this before it went down. So then October, between the 10th and the 19th, I went to the doctor, and he started noticing that I was gaining muscle mass again, and that I lost a decent amount of weight. And they started reviewing all of my my medical records for last 2 years, because I showed an elevated T count, testosterone, and they never understood. But then when they went and realized that my body was overproducing testosterone because it was trying to fight off cortisol. The cortisol levels in my body were so high that it was turning into estrogen, and my body, as a biological male, was trying to fight off the hormone. So I was gaining a fuck ton of weight, no matter what diet I went on, no matter, I starved myself, I work out, and nothing I did would work. And I found out that during this time, my cortisol levels were so high, I was infertile. And I remembered thinking, wait a minute, I thought I was going to be a dad. And I was like, well, you wouldn't happen to be able to tell me when I was infertile, would you? And I'm not infertile anymore. I haven't been infertile since September-ish, August, around there. But for the last 2 years, I was infertile. In October of 2023, we went to the studio to record this record, and we had sex. And we got home from the studio, and my mom, she had small intestine cancer, and she took a turn for the worse. Really bad, really bad. To the point, and my brother lived in Brooklyn. My aunt, she was close, and she did her, due diligence for my mom too. But, my aunt had breast cancer, so she had her own things going on. And it came to, I was tending to my mom quite frequently at this point. And I thought I was going to be a father, and I was very happy about that. I've always wanted kids. I've always felt that I want kids with the right person. I tried having them with Cassandra, but there was something always wrong about that. And then I thought I was doing it. I was having it with the right person. That's my person. Like, I am in love with this girl. Like, this is who I want to have a kid with. And so I was happy when she told me she was pregnant. I was like, holy shit, I'm gonna be a dad. Like, and then my mom took a real turn for the worst in December of 2023. She ended up going into the hospital on Christmas Eve, and she never left. She passed away on January 5th, 2024. And during this time, now she's miscarrying, and she's having a miscarriage, and a huge fight broke out because I chose tending to my dying mother over the so-called, quote unquote, so-called love of your life, quote unquote, mother of your child. It was a huge fight. And I trust me, I felt like shit. Like, am I making the wrong decision? Like, I'm like, how do I balance this? And
yeah, I can understand how you feel
I'm still with Cassandra at this point. I'm hiding, I'm lying, I'm living in this web of chaos and lies. Like, and I was just, and then I find this shit out in September. And I was fucking angry. I was really fucking angry. And then a bunch of other shit happened, and I called her out on it in text message. And then she said, all right, we'll go, like, come over on Tuesday and we'll speak about it, da-da-da-da. All right. So I show up to her house on a Tuesday night, and she basically says, never mind what happened this last year, your behavior this last couple of weeks. I don't, even if I decide to do this, and basically pinning it on me. And I left, I apologized. I'm sorry, this and that. And I left her house, and it was like a 20-30 minute drive to my house, 25 minutes. And I sat, and usually when I'm in a car, I'm listening to music, and I sat in silence the whole way home. And I said, why the fuck am I apologizing? I'm the one who's hurt. She's the one that needs to apologize. So I got home and I texted her saying, this doesn't sit right with me, da-da-da-da. And she said, all right, well, we'll talk. You're right, this, that, the third. We're supposed to talk Thursday night. She said her mom had open heart surgery. I don't know how much I believe that, honestly. But so I ended up saying Friday. She's supposed to have a dinner. She texted me while she was at work saying, I canceled the dinner because this is more important to me. And then she said, I'll text you when I get out of work. 8:30 rolls around, and I don't hear from her. I call her, nothing. Call her again, nothing. Text her, nothing. So you know what? Her job's 10 minutes from my house. I'm going to drive by her job. And obviously her car is not there. She went to the dinner,
Yeah.
So I fucking lost it, I fucking lost it. I rage texted. I don't know how many texts I sent, but it was a lot. And I said everything I've needed to say this last year in texts. I sent her a picture of her, her job, saying, lo and behold, surprise, no car. So I, tried texting her mom saying, hey, I deserve a conversation. I've literally cherished the ground your daughter has walked on. Her mom read, not responding, whatever. So I ended up going to my buddy's house, who was also in an abusive relationship, and I sat in his driveway in my car with him, for probably an hour or two. It was like midnight at this point. And just crying, just telling him how I feel and telling him everything that's going on. And I told him, I was like, you know what? I'm going to drive by her house and her brother's house when I leave here. And I know her car is not going to be at either location. And when I see that, I'm going to wake up and go through the motions, and that's it. It's over. And I did that. And obviously our car wasn't there. And I did that. And I went home, and I like to describe that 2:00 in the morning. My state of mind was divine clarity and heavy confusion.
Mm-hmm.
And that's truthfully was my state of mind. And I didn't get much sleep that night. And my best friend, he's not my old band member, the singer of my old band, my best friend since I was 15 years old, that morning randomly messaged me and texted me. We've been talking on and off, but nothing so serious or whatever. And he said, hey, man, he plays in a Blink-182 tribute band. And he said, hey, man, I'm playing tonight in Patchogue. Like, come out. And I said, yeah, man, for sure. I'll come out. And then he texted me back and he said, hey, how you doing, man? And I was honest with him. I think it's like the most deep I got with him in a really long time. And I said, I'm going through the highest of highs and I'm going through the lowest of lows. And I could really use my friend right now. And he was very receptive to me. And then about an hour after that, my old bass player from that same band hit me up. What are you doing tonight? It was like if it was divine intervention. I told him I'm actually going to Tom's show, and he said, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it. I got to be up early, this, that, the third. He ended up coming out that night, and we all ended up talking and having a good time. And when I needed my friends the most, they were there. And it was just, it was beautiful. Like, honestly, like,
a lot.
Yeah, especially because his name is Tom, the singer. Me and him had a big falling out after that band broke up. We didn't talk for years. We didn't talk for 2.5 years. We took petty shots at each other online. Me more than him, but he took a few. I'll be honest with that. And we didn't start talking again until after my dad died in 2022. And he reached out to, condolences. We ended up meeting up at a Starbucks and talking about everything that's happened. And, for the last couple of years, we would talk, hey, how you doing? What's up? Just casual conversation. We never spoke about the band. We never spoke about music. I wasn't comfortable. I'm sure he wasn't comfortable. We would speak about each other's other projects, but never what we created. And we had we have two records sitting on the back burner, we just never released. So we that night at that show, I get a phone call. It's around 11 o'clock, and it's a detective. And he basically tells me I need to come in, and I told him, well, you need to talk to my lawyer. I'm not coming in without talking to a lawyer. Are you talking to my lawyer? So my lawyer set up a surrender for the next day at 11 p.m. So I didn't have to wait long. And I'll be honest with you. I got into the precinct. Cops were very respectful to me, treated me like a human being. He even said to me, look, you're not a criminal. We know you're not a criminal. This is da-da-da. And then at one point, he says to me, can we speak off the record? I was like, I guess. And then he started talking. He's like, listen, man, I have a job to do. But this is all bullshit. This is all bullshit. And, we started talking. Next thing I know, he's making jokes and we're laughing, and they were very accommodating. They gave me a pillow and a blanket. And told me they were going to keep me in the precinct as long as possible. So I didn't have shitty conditions, and they call it the tunes, where you go before court. And then I can't speak too much on the next time we speak. I will be able to speak more freely on these things. There's a lot of things that I want to talk about that I have done as well, because I'm not going to sit here and say I'm an angel. There's been some behaviors and reactions and actions of mine in the last 2-3 months that I am not proud of, and being mentally down and being my mental health was shit, but I'm not going to sit here and use that as an excuse, but it's the truth. My mental health was low, and I was not moving with purpose, and I was not thinking clearly, and I was very explosive. Never physical violence, never anything like that, but everything bothered me. You could sneeze and it would bother me. So I got out of court on Monday or whatever. I went home, and then I spent the week doing everything that wasn't work or music. I went to Atlantic City. I went to a Knicks game. I drove to Philly just to see Philly play the Giants, and I hate both teams. I was going to shows. I was driving to Brooklyn damn near every night. But while I was using this time, I was thinking about, what am I going to do? And how am I going to move forward? And then I remembered, I know who I am, and I know what I've done, and I know I've been through worse, and I'm going through some motions emotionally, but I'm not gonna stop. I'm going to rise, and I'm going to rise to this occasion, and I'm going to become the best version of myself. Everything that I know is wrong about me, I'm going to work on, and I'm going to fix, and I'm going to do everything that I said I was going to do. And I've been in therapy since June, and my therapist is a godsend. This woman is amazing. So I started doing that, and she told me, listen, she tried to silence you. She had you arrested to try to silence you. She had you this, she had you that. I know for the last 2-3 months, 4 months, maybe longer, she had to be longer, because one of Andrew's girlfriend, Andrew doesn't want to talk to me. He says it's unsafe to be around me, which is a crock of shit. But I reached out to his girlfriend, and she said, I don't want to get involved. And I said, all right. And I never reached out again. But I know she's screenshotting things I'm posting. I know she's sending it. Just today, I posted the flyer in my story, and I posted it on my page, and I saw that after she saw my story, that little, it was sent as a message. It was sent. I don't know if she's sending it to her or Andrew, but I do know that, for the person who didn't want to get involved, for the people who don't want to get involved and choose sides, they did choose a side. And that's their decision to make. I think it's wrong, but that's their decision to make. You don't want to talk to me. You want to view me as a threat. I don't know what she's told you, but I do know that she has made it a point to villainize me and victimize her. And I will tell you this right now. There is nobody in my life, including family, who got what she got from me. Emotionally, mentally, physically, financially. Nobody. I am afraid of heights, and I would jump out of a plane for that girl. And if my parachute didn't fucking open, I would somehow justify it. Like I would, I wouldn't hold her to blame. And, all I wanted was the truth. All I wanted was conversation. I deserve a conversation after everything we've been through, after everything I've done for you, after everything we spoke about. I deserve a conversation, whether it's fixing this, whether it's closure. I deserve the truth from your mouth after everything you have done, including the miscarriage. Oh, here's another one. Little tangent. Said we're starting to tell people that we're together. And in December, I was going out to dinner with a bunch of my friends one night. And I let her know I'm going to be late to hang out because I'm going out to dinner with my friends. She said, are you going to tell them? And they're all connected to Cassandra, my ex, her business partner. And I said, do you want me to? And she said, yes, I do. I think it's time. So, all right, I'll tell them. And I told them. And I started hitting up my friends, you know, over the next couple of months, and nobody's responding, or, oh, I can't. But then I see on social media they're out and about, and it's like, oh, what the fuck? Like, what did I do? And then I find out from one of my friends that, oh, yeah, well, she told, when Cassandra approached her about the relationship, she told her that you're lying and you're saying it to get under her skin. And I told her in December, and I found this out in May. I was fucking livid. My friends aren't talking to me. My friends think I'm a liar. My friends think I'm trying to get under my ex's skin because you're a liar, because you're a piece of shit. And I gave her an ultimatum. I said, you got 3 days to tell Cassandra, or I'm going to tell Cassandra. She told Cassandra. I guess she told her the snip down version. Oh, we've only been dating for a year, because that's what she stated in her police report, in the police report. So we've only been dating for a year. Once the district attorney in the courthouse said they've been in a relationship for a year, this, that, the third, and then a bunch of other lies, that's when I said, you know what? The truth is coming out. I need to clean my conscience. I need to tell the truth. And I went on social media and I started a highlight page on Instagram. I started a highlight page on Instagram, and I started telling my truth. I started telling my truth. And then, I started, you know, speaking the actual truth. And I don't know the state of the band. I as of right now, we're not a band, but this record is coming out. And I will tell you guys 2 snippets of what it is. The record is called What It's Like to Be Here Waiting. And every song, you could find something about her and me in it, because I wrote this shit about her. And I will say this. I don't know the release date yet. We're filming the next music video on Black Friday. And I will say that when the record is announced, all proceeds of the vinyl, of the CD, and of our leftover shirts, all proceeds are going to a domestic violence charity. And that's 100% of the proceeds are going to go to a domestic violence charity. There's 2 right now, both on Long Island, that I'm looking at. Whoever I feel more comfortable giving that money to is going to get that money.
That's awesome.
And I want to end off by saying, when that record does come out, I want to sit down the whole 3 hours with you guys and speak further and more transparent about this and the record and everything. And I want to do it with you guys, but this is what I'm doing. 100% of all sales are going to a domestic violence charity. And anybody who's listening to this, male, female, child, parent, it does not matter. If you are being physically, mentally, emotionally abused, please seek help. Please talk to somebody. You do not have to go through it. You do not deserve to go through it. I don't care what you have done in your life. Nobody deserves that. Your home should be a home. Your house should be a home. You should feel safe. You should feel protected, and you should feel comforted by the people who say they love you. And if you don't, get the fuck out. Please, I beg you. Please. That's the cold, hard truth. And you need to protect yourself, because you only have one life, and cherish it.
Yeah, we all agree with that. When it comes to matters of the heart, things weigh sometimes light as a feather and sometimes as heavy as a ton. So we're here to support you. Of course, to support that album coming out and, the causes you go for, my friend. So anything else you would like to say?
And hopefully you guys can either sit down and kind of figure it out or,
Or cut ties, whatever needs to happen.
I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. I don't have the answers. What I will say is I hope and I pray. I hope and I pray that she finds happiness. I hope and I pray that, and I'm not me. No, nobody can give her I'm talking. You need to find inner peace. You need to find your inner happiness. You need to learn to love yourself because you are going to be destructive to everybody and anybody around you if you do not love yourself. I lost that loving myself, and I know that has led to my behaviors and actions these last few months. And I'm learning to love myself, and I'm finding my peace, and my nervous system is calming down. But I will say that I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm when that bridge, if that bridge approaches, I will walk over it and we'll go there. But at the end of the day, I want to say I hold no animosity against Andrew. I even hold no animosity against him picking sides or saying it's unsafe. I hold minimal animosity against her, but right next to that animosity is a lot of love and a lot of care. And it's whatever role you need me to play, whether that is a ghost or whether that is your soulmate or anything in between, whatever role you need me to play in your life, as long as it's safe and productive for me to do, I will do. I have always done that, and I will continue to do that. As of now, I don't want to speak, I need to get out the truth, and I need to release this record. And I do have a new band in the works. I have some cool stuff in the works, and my old band will be coming back together as well. I got a lot going on musically, and I'm going to love having a positive conversation with you guys about all that
Can't
stuff.
wait to hear it from some of the music.
Definitely looking forward to it.
Thank you.
All right, so that was Costas. That was he has some stuff on his chest.
Oh, man, yes, it does. But I'm glad we're there to let him, get things off his chest, talk about it,
Release
and
the weights.
and great things looking like in his future, and a couple bands in the work and stuff like that. Some more music, he's always been the most creative guy on there. I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah, I hope everything gets either situated or figured out.
Whatever works out for the best.